I try to convey the excitement and thrill of studying very ancient cultures and their complex, layered literature in a way that makes them feel both different from our culture and also totally relatable. My name is Emily Wilson. I'm a classicist and translator from ancient Greek and Roman literature. I try and tease out the ways that ancient texts, such as the Odyssey, the Iliad, ancient tragedy, has all this wonderful richness, complexity of ideas and of language. A translator is both an interpreter of somebody else's words. I have to speak as Homer. And also a creative agent in her own right. I also have to use my own literary, poetic skills, as well as my scholarly skills, to try and bring a new poem to life in a very different literary and social culture. Every translation is a new interpretation of the text. My version of the Odyssey, I had a range of different literary, hermeneutic, poetic goals. I deliberately kept myself to the same number of lines as the original poem in order not to make it feel slow and boring in the way that the original doesn't. I also very much wanted to use a very regular meter, which isn't the case for most modern translations. I wanted to bring out the musicality, the way that this is a poem based on folk music, folk poetry. I also wanted to bring out, in ways that I thought were not fully the case for other translations that I'd looked at, something of the polyvocality of the poem. By that I mean that there are many, many different characters. It's not all focalized through the eyes of Odysseus. We need new translations because we need constantly to be reassessing what exactly might this text be doing. Might there be ways that an earlier generation of scholarship might have missed certain things because of their cultural blind spots? It's been striking to me in the case of the Odyssey in particular, just to realize, for instance, how the vast majority of English translations include a lot of words like servants for characters who are very clearly in the original represented as slaves. We don't want to think of Odysseus as a slave owner, and therefore we're going to present him as somebody who has issues with his servants as opposed to somebody who is enslaving people. I think reading the Odyssey now in the 21st century, I think it's hard not to see that it's a poem that's about somebody who's left his home, gone to a war, come back from a war. It's also a poem which is about violence, and particularly violence caused by people trying to protect their identities, their homes. I love the way that ancient societies, ancient works of literature are both very alien, very distant, and also very, very much connected to our world today. It's an enormous honor. I mean, I'm incredibly grateful and still kind of flabbergasted that this would have happened to me. I mean, in a way, it feels like Athena swooping down and saying, in fact, let me help you out, and I'm going to escort you for the next 5 years.